Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video, we are going to be going over the Thunder's Pacers game, another double overtime game by the Thunder ending in a victory. This time, not as close in the end. The Thunder win 141 to 135. We'll kind of get our reaction by it. We'll talk about A.J. Mitchell just kind of turning into a perennial star already in these first two games, really being a big contributor on this team already. And then at the end, it is Friday, so we'll give you the week in review for the OKC Thunder. But just starting off, Thunder defeated the Pacers 141 to 135 in double overtime. If you guys were not able to watch it, the Thunder go to double overtime once again, and you could just see already that Shea was getting exhausted out there, especially in this game. You had no Cason Wallace with a sprained left knee, no Alex Caruso, he's on concussion protocol. You obviously don't have Nikola Topic, Isaiah Joe still, and you don't have J-Dub. So the Thunder were very depleted. They go into the starting lineup, Aaron Wiggins in place of where Cason Wallace was. And then your bench was pretty much A.J. Mitchell, Brooks Barnhizer, Jay Will, and guys of that sort of nature. Usman Jang, a lot of those guys that are towards the bottom of the rotation. But this game proves right here, even though the Pacers were hurt, yes, but the Thunder's used to having much more depth, but this depth really showed out tonight. Obviously, Shea went off with his 55-point performance that we'll talk about here in a second, but just contributing all around. Aaron Wiggins goes out there and drops 27 points. A.J. Mitchell drops 23. You have multiple double-digit rebounds guys out there with Ihart and Chet and all of that, and Chet getting a double-double. So at the end of the day, it was a lot of these guys that may not get as much playing time come the end when everybody's healthy, when you have everybody, but in these early games, even in the second game of the season, to go out there and be able to really just put it to a team that was in the NBA Finals, yes, and are still missing guys, but that really had you were at home, you were on the road in Indiana, and really just being able to put up a good fight. But going back to it, obviously the story of the night is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropping 55 points and 8 rebounds, just his career high. And this one is kind of crazy, shooting 15 for 31 from the field, nearly 50% from the field. And he just looked exhausted out there, especially going a whole offseason. And since you guys played on the very last possible day of the season, being Game 7 of the finals, and you guys played the earliest you could being opening night, you had the shortest offseason out of anybody, and then you go out there and have to play. Pretty much you played 3 games so far because you played your 2 fourth quarter games, and then you played double overtime twice. You pretty much played 3 games already in this season. But luckily for the Thunder, this championship pedigree and them grinding out these games so far has worked out, and it's been a big contributor. They're 2-0, and it just looks like when it comes down to these overtimes and close quarter stuff that these other teams are tripping up on themselves, and the Thunder are just ready there to take the advantage, and that's exactly what championship teams do, and that's what they've been able to do. Obviously, Shea going out there just doing his thing, dropping 55 like that is just unbelievable, and he's definitely trying to make his case for that back-to-back MVP. Like I said, Chet Holmgren had a double-double. Not the greatest shooting night, but still putting up those numbers is great to see, especially without J-Dub. And then Aaron Wiggins in the starting lineup dropping 27 points. Like I said, if we give Aaron Wiggins the run that he deserves, he can go out there and score 20 on any given night. And just like tonight, when you start him, he goes out there as pretty much the second option on the team, second creator/scoring option. He goes out there and drops nearly 30 in a double overtime victory. But another guy that's he was really the second best player tonight overall behind Shea, and that is A.J. Mitchell. A.J. Mitchell in the first game against the Rockets had 16 points, 2 and 2, great all-around performance. And then in yesterday's game, he goes out there and drops 26, 4, and 3. He looked really good doing it. He's looking like he's really taking that chance of earning these minutes and really becoming the backup ball handler/creator in this offense. And it's going to be interesting to see how Mark Dagnall kind of fluctuates him and Topic, because we know Topic is meant to be that high pass IQ guy, the ball handler and all that. But when you have A.J. Mitchell out here, he's averaging 23 points in the first 2 games. It's kind of hard to take away those minutes, and especially in the ball handling skill set. So I'm interested to see how Mark Dagnall is going to kind of fluctuate those two guys' minutes, especially with how good AJ Mitchell's playing. He's just been able to attack with the rim, use his strong side and his left hand, but also use that right hand when needed. And he's been able to knock down threes at a very good rate, which is something the Thunder are still struggling. Even in tonight's game, still shot under 30% from three. So that's something they're going to have to work at. But being able to see AJ Mitchell just go out there and continue to put on back-to-back performances, especially when the team is needing somebody besides Shea and maybe even a Chet or Wiggins to step up. AJ Mitchell has been able to do that. And we saw a lot tonight. We saw guys that we're not normally used to seeing. We knew Brooks Barnhizer was out there. He came out there in the first quarter pretty quickly when Lou Dort got into foul trouble early. He came out there and was a big contributor to that. We also saw guys like Ousmane Dieng, Chris Youngblood, even Brandon Carlson out there. So the Thunder threw the whole bench, especially in a double overtime game. That's exactly what you're going to need to do. And this is just a lot of early stuff going on at double overtime, back-to-back double overtime games in the first two games. And now you're going up against an Atlanta Hawks team on Saturday that will be just as good, and they're going to put it to the metal. So hopefully they're able to wrap it up in 4 quarters this time and it not be as close towards the end and kind of be a weaker Eastern Conference team. But only time will tell, as that game will be tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. But now we'll kind of wrap up the video just kind of talking about a week in review for the OKC Thunder. Obviously, this is our first big week back in the NBA season. The Thunder got started on Tuesday night with the ring ceremony, the championship banner being raised. Once again, if you guys have not seen, for some reason, those championship rings, check them out. I think they're one of the best ones in recent years. Just all the detail on it. I really love the blue and orange sapphires on it, and then having the ring inside the ring, I think, is really cool. But after that, going out there and on a week where you knew you weren't going to have J-Dub all week and you're already kind of depleted on the injury side, going against the Houston Rockets team that went out there firing. You had Sengun drop nearly 40, KD out there. The Rockets are going to be a team to watch all season long, and you go out there and in a double overtime victory, get the win by 1 point, and then go out last night on the road in Indiana against the team you saw in the finals and go Game 7. A lot of people like Game 8 of the NBA Finals continue tonight, and it was just another masterclass between both of these teams. Both of these teams just play offense so well. They are able to switch up looks, and their defense is so good. They can rebound and draw fouls at will. So both of these teams were able to go hand in hand. It was just, at the end of the day, the Thunder had the best player on the court, and I think that was ultimately what was the big difference maker, as Shea finished with 55 points, a new career high. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about the other double overtime victory. What do you guys kind of notice from the team so far? Who's maybe somebody that has kind of not gotten it really going in these first 2 games? Obviously, it's still very early on. We don't want to judge really players until we get about a month into the season, so there's still going to be a lot of different things happening. But we're going to see the Thunder will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night, and then on Monday they will be back in action in Dallas against the Mavericks, who is another Western Conference team that we will be battling out with all year long. But make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button down below, guys. It helps out the channel so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.